guys, welcome. My name is Tennessee. Today we are continuing with our week 3 of your Birds of Paradise. So again, I always want to do a progression to a peak pose, and I'll give you 4 weeks to get into that peak pose. Of course, it can always take longer than that. You're not going to just master these peak postures in 4 weeks. But with practice and over time, I can guide you and get you into that, or what you're supposed to feel in the body when you're in that peak pose. So again, today is week 3 of your Birds of Paradise. So if you haven't done week 1, week 2, I suggest you pause, stop, go back to week 1, go back to week 2, and then as each week, I will build you up into that peak posture. So today we are going to go into our Birds of Paradise today. Last week we went into the step forward and held into that from the extended side angle. I would also like to try to get you in, or offer you 2 ways to get into your Birds of Paradise. So from the extended side angle and also from a Malasana, which is quite a bit harder than coming into the extended side angle. With that said, take breaks, take water, do whatever you need for your body. Don't feel like you have to go into these peak postures. I'm just guiding you in. I will offer you options. You take what you need and you just leave the rest. All right, with that, I always start my classes with a chakra clearing. If you don't know what chakras are, there's 7 energy sources throughout your body. They start at the base of your spine and they work their way through the crown of your head. So I just want you to check in, notice what feels good, get out of your head, whether that be through the posture or the breath. Today we're going to start on our backs in a Supta Baddha Konasana. So just bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide, and then just come all the way down. Now, you do have the option to have blocks if you have them. If you don't have blocks, no worries. You can always do this without blocks. If you have anything around the house, such as pillows or anything that kind of elevates, bringing the earth up, you can use that as well, such as books or anything like that. So let's get started. We'll Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Just come all the way down to your backs. Just kind of settle in. Now, if this is too much, you can always place blocks underneath your knees. You can always place blocks into your hips. You can always just bring your knees into your midline, into a modified bridge, or you can just lay in your Shavasana with your legs straight. You're going to be here for the first few minutes of class. All right, guys, go ahead and inhale, completely fill up your lungs. Audible exhale, let that go. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Audible exhale, release. See if you can surrender a little bit further onto your mat, releasing any tension through your ankles, your knees, your hips, your low back, your shoulders, your neck, your head, and your jaw. Now this time, inhale through your nose. Find a constriction in the back of your throat, and then exhale through your nose. This is your Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhaling through your nose, and then exhaling through your nose. See if you can make your inhale the same length as it is your exhale with the same intensity. I want you to carry this breath throughout your practice today, through each posture, through each movement, as we go through. Now just start to clear your mind. Bring your focus, your energy awareness to the base of your spine, to your root chakra, your first chakra. This is your I am space. Your foundation, your safety, your security. This is where everything starts. Just check in, notice what feels good, notice if any discomfort. Now on your inhale, bring your focus, your energy awareness into your sacral, the space below your belly button. This is your I feel space, where you house your emotions, your desires, your sexuality, also known as your mother womb. But now slowly work your energy up into your third chakra, the space above your belly button, your solar plexus, your I do space. This is what drives you, where your passions, your creativity, your power all lie. Now draw your energy up into your fourth chakra, your heart, your I love space, space of relationships, self-acceptance, and unconditional love. Now move your energy up into your fifth chakra, your throat, your I speak space, space of communication, your truth. Now gently guide your energy up into your 6th chakra, the space just between your eyebrows, your IC space, your space of intuition, your 3rd eye. And then finally take your focus, your energy awareness all the way above your head to your 7th chakra, your crown chakra. Your I understand space, your path to enlightenment. I want you to draw the energy all the way down to the base of your spine and then inhale it through the 7 chakras to the crown of your head. Notice if anything gets stuck, of any discomforts, or if it feels good. Work to bring your focus, your energy awareness to those areas throughout your class today. 1 big clearing breath in. Audible exhale, let that go. Nice work, guys. Flutter your eyes open. Just draw your knees up into your chest. Circle your knees opposite one another, in and out. Let that go. Releasing any tension through the small of your back, through your hips. Now slowly lower the soles of your feet down just outside your sitting bones. Your knees are up. Take your left ankle on top of right knee. Your left ankle on top of right. Find a reclined figure 4. So just hug your right knee up and in. You can flex your left toes back towards your shin. Pull your left knee forward. Relax your right foot. Try to extend through the crown of your head. And now slowly release your left leg long to the top of your mat. Keep hugging right knee up and in. Take it outside your rib cage, back up into your shoulder. Ardha Appanasana, half wind relieving pose. Now slowly work your way into a half happy baby. Send the sole of your foot up, draw your knee down, plug your shoulder blade back and down. Keep grounding through your left hip. So if you need to place your left hand on top of your left hip and press down your thigh, you can do that. If this is too much too, you can also just bend your left knee, plant the sole of your foot down. Now slowly release your right leg down to the top of your mat. On your inhale, use your core. Draw both knees up into your chest. Appanasana, wind relieving pose. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe rock side to side, let that feel good. Now slowly lower the soles of your feet down, knees are up. Take your right ankle on top of your left knee, recline figure 4, hug your left knee up and in. You can flex your right toes, pull your right knee forward, relax your left foot. Just breathe. Now slowly release your right leg long to the top of your mat. Hug your left knee up and in. Take it outside your rib cage, back into your shoulder. Now find half happy baby. So the sole of your left foot up, draw your knee down, plug your shoulder blade back and down. Keep grounding through your right hip. Now slowly release your left leg long to the top of your mat. Inhale, Appanasana, wind relieving pose. Give yourself a big hug. Now this time, just rock and roll front to back, the length of your mat. Cross at your ankles. Work your way to a tabletop. So set your feet down, plant your hands, and then just slowly lower your knees down. Stack your hips to your knees, shoulders stacked to your wrists, your fingers are spread wide. Option to ground through the tops of your feet, option to tuck your toes under. Inhale, cow pose, gaze up, bellies down. Exhale, cat, tuck in, round up, dome up through your shoulder blades, pull your hips up to your rib cage, maybe add some movement side to side, left to right. Let that feel good in your body. Inhale, cow pose, gaze up, bellies down. Exhale, cat, tuck in, round up. Let's do one more round here. Inhale for cow. And then exhale for cat. Slowly work your way back to a neutral spine. Inhale, right arm extends up, gaze up. Exhale, thread your needle. Send your right arm underneath your left, draw your right cheek down. Now option to stay here. Option to extend your left arm to the top of your mat. Option to extend your left leg out in line with your left hip. Breathe. Inhale, slowly bring everything back into your midline. Plant your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Draw your left knee in. Inhale, right arm extends up, gaze up, hold here. Find wrist circles forward and back. Exhale, tabletop. Good. Inhale, left arm extends up, gaze up. Exhale, thread your needle. Left arm sweeps underneath your right. Draw your left cheek down. Option to extend your right arm up above. Option to extend your right leg out to your right side. Take one more breath. Inhale, slowly come back into your midline. Plant your right hand down. Draw your right knee in. Left arm extends up. Gaze up, hold here. Find wrist circles forward and back. Exhale, tabletop. Now, go ahead and tuck your toes under. Find a tabletop hover here. So your knees lift 2 inches off your mat. Activate the core here. Belly button pulls into spine. Fingers are spread wide, loading into your shoulders. Now just take your knees out and in. Breathe. Try not to bounce your hips. We're working in the core strength. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift your tailbone all the way up. Find a downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Your feet are about hip width distance on your mat. Pull your heels down to your mat. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Draw your torso towards your thighs. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Take your gaze in between your feet. With one more breath. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Roll into a high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, come back up onto your tippy toes. Roll back into your high plank. Hold it here. Good, now this time, slowly bend your knees down to a hover. Pull your torso back towards your thighs. Find bear pose, your arms are straight. Inhale, lift your tailbone high. Exhale, roll forward, high plank. Lower your knees down. Find that fluid motion, find bear pose. Pull your torso back, lift your tailbone up. Roll forward, keep it going here. Good, give me one more. And then work your way into your high plank. And slowly lower all the way down to your bellies. It's okay if you need to drop your knees down, untuck your toes, come all the way down. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Ground through the tops of your feet through your hip bones. Slightly lift your head, your chest up. Melt your shoulders back and down, elbows hug in, gaze slightly ahead. Exhale, slowly release. Now let's do that again. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Lift it up, hug back. Exhale, slowly lower. This time, inhale, Cobra Locust. Hands and feet lift up off your mat. Round through your hip bones to the soft part of your belly. Option for Bound Locust. Interlace your hands to the small of your back. Lift your chest, take your gaze slightly up and ahead. Exhale, slowly release. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, come up onto your knees. Lift your tailbone high. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe, let that go, pedal out your feet. Now this time, take your gaze to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to meet your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Your feet are about hip width distance. Ragdoll Pose, reach for opposite elbows. Sway your bodies left to right. Nod your head yes or no. Maybe scoop the energy up into your midline. Let your head hang heavy. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Exhale, forward fold. Draw your hands down towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Belly button pulls into spine. Shoulders melt away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Arms sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands down to your heart center. Inhale, exhale, Tadasana. Nice work, guys. Palms face forward. Now, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your right foot back behind. Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Your back knee drops, untuck your back toes. Front knee stacks to your front ankle. Inhale, arms sweep up. Pull your hips down and forward, chest is lifted. Now take your gaze up between your hands. Exhale, half splits. Send your hips back to stack to your back knee. Flex your front toes towards your shin. Lead with your torso to the top of your thigh. Now, option for blocks. If you need to bring the ground up, you place your blocks here. You can also place a block underneath your shin or underneath your calf, or up into your thigh. Help support that way. However you need to use those, they are there for support. You have one more breath. Good, now slowly tuck your back toes under, ground through your left foot, frame your front foot with both hands, lift your right knee up, step back to a high plank, lower down to your bellies. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes under, lift your tailbone high, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Step to the inside of your right hand, your back knee drops, front knee stacks. Inhale, arms sweep up. Pull your hips down and forward, chest is lifted. Exhale, plant your hands, tuck your back toes under, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep up. Take your gaze up, exhale, draw your hands down to your heart center. Inhale, exhale, Tadasana. Nice work, guys. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, left foot steps back, Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Your back knee drops, front knee stacks, arms sweep up. This time, bring your palms to touch, find a small back bend. Good, exhale, half splits. Send your hips back to stack, flex your front toes towards your shin. Lead with your torso to the top of your thigh. Hinge from your hips. Belly button pulls in. Breathe. Let that feel good through the hamstring, hammy tie-in. A lot of work today into the hamstrings, lengthening through the inner thigh, the groin. You have one more breath. Everybody tuck your back toes under, ground through your right foot, frame your front foot with both hands. Lift your back knee up, step back, high plank. Lower down all the way to your bellies. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Tuck your toes, tailbone lifts, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, step to the inside of your left hand. Back knee drops, front knee stacks, Anjaneyasana. Arms sweep up. Pull your hips down and forward, chest is lifted. Good, now look up and then drop your hands down, frame your front foot, tuck your toes under, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep up. Exhale, draw your hands down to your heart center. Inhale. Exhale, Tadasana. Nice work, guys. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Now look up and take your hands to the small of your back. Inhale, puff your chest forward. Take your gaze slightly up and back. Squeeze your inner thighs together. You activate your glutes. Exhale, forward fold with your spine. Lead with your torso to the top of your thighs. Now bend your knees as much as you need to. If you have shoulder mobility here, work your arms above your head. Let your head hang heavy. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale, release your body, draw your hands down towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana. Now, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Your knees and hips lift up off your mat, arms are straight. Take your gaze straight ahead. Not up, but looking straight ahead, lengthening through the crown of your head. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Let that go. Pedal out your feet, pull your belly button into spine, wrap your triceps towards your ears. Find the external rotation in your inner thighs. We have one more breath. Take your gaze back to the top of your mat, step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands down to your heart center. Inhale, exhale, Tadasana. Now flowing through our Stane, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Take your hands back to the small of your back, find your bind. Inhale, puff your chest forward. Exhale, forward fold with your bind. Draw your torso to the top of your thighs. Bend your knees here, let your head hang heavy. One more breath. Exhale, release your bind. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your high plank. Option to lower down to your knees, option to stay lifted. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe, let that go. We have one more breath. Now this time, take your gaze back to the top of your mat, step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana, toes to touch, knees to touch. Squeeze your inner thighs, tailbone draws back, belly's in, chest is lifted, arms are strong. Good, now look up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, open up your hip. Now keep your shoulders square to the top of your mat. Feel that stretch through your right side. One more breath. Exhale, square your hip. Bring your knee to your nose, round up to the shoulder blades, belly button pulls into spine, breathe. Inhale, three-legged dog. Sweep your right heel high. Exhale, step through, warrior one. Back foot is grounded to a 45. Front knee stacks to your front ankle. Hips, shoulders are square. Arms are strong to the top of your mat. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale, plant your hands, send it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, left heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, shoulders are square. Left stretch through your left side. Exhale, square your hip, bring your knee to your nose, hold. Belly button pulls in, round up to the shoulder blades. Inhale, sweep your left heel high, three-legged. Exhale, warrior one. Step to the inside of your left hand, back foot steps in. Front knee stacks, hips, shoulders are square. Arms are strong. Now if your back heel is lifted, pull it down, square your hips. Beautiful. Exhale, plant your hands, send it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let that go. Huddle at your feet, breathe. Whew. Now take your gaze back to the top of your mat, step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Arms sweep up. Pull your tailbone back and down. Now make sure your toes are behind your knees are behind your big toes. So if your knees are shifting forward, pull your tailbone back and down. Good. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant down, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, breathe. Square your hip, knee to nose, hold. Round up through the shoulder blades. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, warrior one. Back foot's grounded, front knee stacks. Good guys. Exhale, plant your hands, send it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, breathe. Square your hip, knee to nose, hold. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, step through, Virabhadrasana 1. Back foot's grounded, front knee stacks, hips, shoulders are square. Good work, guys. Exhale, plant down, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo, find your way into a child's pose. Bring your knees out wide, toes to touch. Just draw your third eye down. Breathe. Let that go. Bring your focus back inward, back to your breath. Check in with your body. Notice where you're carrying your tension. Allow that to release. We have one more breath. Now take your gaze to the top of your mat. Crawl your hands over to the right side of your mat. Place your left hand on top of your right. Pull your left shoulder back down. Feel that stretch through your left side body, through your left shoulder. Inhale, slowly come back to your midline. And then exhale, take it over to your left side. Right hand plants on top of left. Pull your right shoulder back down. Inhale, slowly come back into your midline. Now plant your hands, lift all the way back up, tuck your toes under, elbow lifts, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, breathe. Take your gaze to the top of your mat. This time, bring your thumbs close to touch to the middle of your mat. Now you can step or jump into your Malasana or Yogi Squat. You can take your right foot, step it up forward. Your foot is about a 45-degree angle, and then take your left foot, step it out. You want to keep your heels just in line with your sitting bones or a little bit further out. Now bring your elbows to the inside of your knees, thumbs to your chest. Extend through the crown of your head. So try not to dump down here, try not to round in. You're engaging your Mula Bandha, your root lock, and your belly lock, your Uddiyana Bandha. Those are energy locks in the body, so you always want to suck up and pull everything in. Now breathe. Now option to stay here. If you have a block, you can also just take a block and sit on your block and keep it here. Now if you want to take it further, you can lift your hips 2 inches, drop your right shoulder inside your right knee. Now I want you to take your right hand back behind your right ankle. Open up your left side body. Take your gaze up to your left hand. Now option for a half, bringing your left half bind or full bind, taking your left hand to the small of your back, or working your way into your full bind. Keep opening up through your heart center, your chest, breathe. Inhale, slowly come back into your midline. And then just switch it out. So drop your left shoulder inside your left knee. Lift your hips to pull your left hand back behind your left ankle. There's a reason we do that. As we go into Birds of Paradise from Malasana, this is how you'll bind. Now open up your right side body. We're not gonna do that yet though. Now work for your half or your full bind. Breathe. Keep opening up through the chest. You have one more breath. Exhale, slowly release. Good work, guys. Now just plant your hands and then step back to a high plank, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pedal at your feet, let that go. Inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, low lunge. Step to the inside of your right hand. Now, your back heel is lifted, stacked to the ball of your left foot. I want you to shift your weight forward. Now lower your left knee down, untuck your left toes, plant both hands to the inside of your right foot, find your dragon lunge. Keep drawing your hips down and forward. Hug your right knee into your right shoulder. Now option to stay here, palms down, arms are straight. Option if you haven't, to come all the way down to your forearms, all the way to the earth. If you've got a block, you can use a block. And just kind of settle in, breathe. Keep hugging right knee in. One more breath. If you're down to your forearms, plant your hands, lift back up. Then find a twisted dragon. Heel toe your right foot out to a 45. Come onto the blade of your right foot, gently press your knee out as you take your gaze up over your right shoulder. Keep pulling your hips down and forward. We have one more breath. Good, exhale, go ahead and plant your right foot down, heel toe your foot to the middle of your mat. Find a half splits. So extend your hips back to stack to your back knee. Flex your front toes towards your shin. Lead with your torso to the top of your thigh. Now you've been here before, so you can work towards your full splits. So just inch your heel forward and then energetically pull your tailbone straight down. If you're in your half splits, I want you to work on trying for the bind. So we're gonna plant both hands to the inside of your right thigh. Now you can bend your knee as much as you need to here. Drop your right shoulder one more time. Now you can reach your right hand back behind. Open up your left side body. Bring it again for the half or full bind. If you've got that full bind, go ahead and take it. Woo. This is quite a balancer here and an extension into that hamstring. So just be mindful. You may need to start with your knee bent and then work your way to straighten. Wherever you're at, honor it. Celebrate the tiny victories. You have one more breath. Exhale, release your bind if you've got it. If you're in a full split or variation of, work your way back to your half splits. Everybody tuck your back toes under. Ground through your right foot. Lift your left knee up. And then open up, find a warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. So ground through the blade of your left foot. Cartwheel your hands open, sink into your front thigh. Front knee stacks to your front ankle. Work for the external rotation in your upper thigh. Find the heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Gaze down your front middle finger. Can you give me 2 inches into the front thigh? Good. Inhale, reverse warrior 2. Reach your right arm up and back, left arm down. Exhale, find a Trikonasana, triangle pose. So just straighten out your right leg, cartwheel your right hand to the inside of your calf. Work your left shoulder back to stack. Lift up with the external oblique. Now option for a block, always to bring the ground up. So you can take your block into your calf and just hold here. Now keep your big toe, your right big toe planting down. I don't care that you touch the ground here with your right hand. Tendency is when we touch the ground, we start to roll the left shoulder down. I want you to open up and lift. You have 1 more breath. Good, exhale, wide forward fold. Just turn your right toes in. Walk your hands to the side edge of your mat and then further in between your feet. Grounding your head down. Breathe. Then you can add any movement you need here. Maybe we add side lunges, right to left. Do what feels good in your body. You can add twists, you can add binds. And 1 more breath. Go ahead and walk your hands to the side edge of your mat. Turn your feet or your heels in, toes out to a 45. Sink your tailbone down. Find your goddess pose. So stack your knees to your ankles. Externally rotate through the upper thighs. Shoulders stacked to hips, bellies in. Arms are strong. Good, now breathe. Can you pulse up and down? So lift and lower. Activate the core, belly button pulls in. Activate Mula Bandha. You've got 4, 3, 2. Hold it low, and 1. Inhale, star pose. Reach all the way up. Straighten out your legs. Exhale, warrior 2 to the top of your mat. Now this time, sink into your front thigh. Gaze down your front middle finger. Reach, extend forward. Exhale, extend inside angle. Cartwheel your right hand to the inside of your ankle. Option for the block here. Now you can always place your forearm on top of your thigh. Extend your left arm straight up, over. But this time, I really want you to work on the binding. So bring your left hand to the small of your back. That's your half bind. Otherwise, if you can reach your left hand to the inside of your right hip crease, work for the full bind. Drop your right shoulder. Reach back and reach your left hand. Now open your shoulders back to stack. Gaze up to your left shoulder. Now option to stay here and hold the bind. Otherwise, I want you to work your way into your birds of paradise. Take your gaze to the top of your mat. Now you're going to shift your weight forward, square your hips and shoulders. Load into your left leg, soften into your left knee. Come up onto your right tippy toe. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together. You're lifting with your core, not your upper body. So inhale, activate the core, squeeze shoulder blades, lift up. Now option to stay here halfway. Option to pull your torso all the way up. If you've got the extension, extend your right leg all the way up. Whew. Find the balance, find the control. Now work your way back the way you came. Step your right foot in, send your left foot back. Find your extended side angle with the bind. Release your bind. Inhale back, warrior 2. Good. Breathe in. Exhale, high crescent lunge. So go ahead and parallel your hips and shoulders to the top of your mat. Back heel is lifted, front knee stacks. Exhale, plant your hands down. Send it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Whew, let that go. Nice work, guys. Breathe. Now we have our left side. So inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, low lunge. Steps the inside of your left hand. Now, keep framing your front foot with both hands. Back heel is lifted. Shift your weight forward and then lower down your right knee down. Tuck your right toes. Find your dragon lunge. Plant both hands to the inside of your left foot. Plug your left knee in. Again, option to come all the way down to your forearms. Option for the block. Breathe. Whew. I am a sweaty mess. Now keep pulling your hips down and forward. Keep hugging your left knee into your shoulder. You have 1 more breath. If you're down to your forearms, lift back up. Find a twisted dragon. Just heel toe your left foot out to a 45. Now come onto the blade of your left foot, gently press your knee out as you take your gaze up over your left shoulder. Keep pulling your hips down and forward. You want to be off the top of your back knee if you can. One more breath. Exhale, plant your left toes down, heel toe your left foot to the middle of your mat, find your half splits. Now, you've been here before. Now you can work towards your full split, or we can work towards the bind. So, again, if you're working towards your full split, you're sending your left heel forward, you can pull that right knee back and energetically pull your tailbone down. Now, if you've got the bind, I want you to pull or bring both hands to the inside of your left thigh. Now, one side might be tighter than the other, and that's totally normal. I am very tight in my left hamstring. I also pulled a muscle into my left hamstring about a couple weeks ago. So, I'm gonna bend my knee as much as I need to here. I can plant my left toes down. I can drop, now I want you to drop your left shoulder inside your thigh. Reach your left hand back behind. Open up through the right side. Now, option, stay here, working towards your bind. Work for the half or the full bind. Now, if you've got the full bind, clasp your hands, and then just slowly work your left leg to straighten. Ooh. You may need to play with it. Again, one side might be tighter than the other. That's totally normal. You have one more breath. Now exhale, go ahead and release your bind. If you're in a full split, work your way back to your half. Whew. And then everybody, go ahead and grab or tuck your back toes under, ground through your left foot. Frame your front foot with both hands. Lift your right knee up. Open up to a warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. So ground through the blade of your right foot. Front knee stacks to your front ankle. Hip shoulders are open. Gaze down your front middle finger. Sink into your front thigh. Can you give me 2 more inches? Beautiful. Inhale, reverse your warrior two. Exhale, Trikonasana triangle. So just straighten out your left leg. Cartwheel your left hand to the inside of your calf. Work your shoulders back to stack. Create space with the external oblique and the top of the thigh. Try not to dump down. One more breath. Good. Exhale, Prasarita Padottanasana, wide forward fold. So go ahead and turn your left toes in. Draw your hands out to the side edge of your mat. And then once again, work your hands back. Again, you can add side bends, side lunges. You know what feels good for you in your body. You can work for your bind. You can work for a twist. Right to left. I want you to just listen in. Let it feel good. One more breath. Inhale, goddess. So just turn your heels in. Stack your knees to your ankles, draw your tailbone down. Reach your arms all the way up. Shoulders stacked to hips, bellies in. Find the external rotation through the upper thighs. Now pulse, lift and lower. Breathe, you've got 4, 3, 2, hold it low, and 1. Plant both hands on top of your thigh. Revolve your goddess. So just drop your right shoulder into your midline. Your right arm is straight. Take your gaze up over your left shoulder. Then inhale, bring everything back into your midline and switch it out. Drop your left shoulder in, left arm is straight, gaze up over your right. Inhale, bring everything back into your midline. Reach your arms up, find star pose. Exhale, warrior two to the top of your mat. Ground through the blade of your back foot, front knee stacks, so shoulders are open. Reach, extend forward. Exhale, extended side angle. So cartwheel your left hand to the inside of your ankle. Option for the block here. Now, or option for your forearm here, right arm up, extend, or work for the bind. So work for the half or the full bind. Your right hand comes to the small of your back. Drop your left shoulder down. Reach back, only if your right hand touches the inside of your left thigh, work for the full bind. If you've got it, stay here, or work for your birds of paradise. Take your gaze to the top of your mat. Now, shift your weight forward, step forward. This time load into your right leg, soften into your right knee. Come up onto your left tippy toe. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift halfway, activate the core, or lift all the way up. Option for the extension. Now slowly work your way back the way you came. So plant your left foot down, send your right foot back, find your extended side angle with your bind. Now inhale, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, high crescent lunge, back heel lifts, front knees stacks. Inhale, and then exhale, plant your hands, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ooh, let that go, breathe. Now come up onto your tippy toes, roll into your high plank, lower all the way down to your bellies. Now keep your left hand planted underneath your left shoulder. Extend your right arm out to your right side, palm face down. You want to keep your wrist in line with your shoulder. Find a scorpion chest stretch here. So send the sole of your left foot up to the ceiling, bending at your knee, and then roll over to your right side. Take the sole of your left foot to the right side of your mat. Relax your head. Let your head come down to your mat. If you need to place a block underneath your ear, you can do that. Now you can bend one knee, both knees. You can keep both legs straight. Whatever works for you, whatever feels good in your body. Inhale, slowly come all the way back into your midline. And then switch it out. Plant your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Extend left arm out to your left side. Keep your wrist in line with your shoulder. Send the sole of your right foot up to the ceiling and roll over to your left side. Get the same options on this side as you do the other. Bending knees, legs straight. Inhale, slowly come all the way back into your midline. Now work your way into your Sphinx Pose. Plant your forearms down, fingers are spread wide, lift your torso. Ground through the tops of your feet through your hip bones. Take your gaze slightly ahead and draw your shoulders back and down. Now option to stay here, option for the seal, extending your arms straight. Keep grounding through the tops of your feet, your legs, your hip bones. Good. Exhale, come all the way back down to your seal if you're in, or in your Sphinx if you're in your seal. Tuck your toes under. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Lift it up, downward facing dog. Adho Svanasana. Nice work, guys. Now, take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Bring your thumbs close together. Find your Malasana Yogi Squat. You've been here before. Now we're going to work our way into Birds of Paradise from your Malasana as well. So again, take what you need. Don't harp on yourself, don't judge yourself. You be kind and gentle with yourself and celebrate the victories. Wherever you're at is exactly where you're supposed to be. Now option to just stay here and hold, work on opening up through the groin, through the hips. If you want to work for it, now work for your binds, you can work for your binds as well. So again, drop your right shoulder. Now, lift your hips up. It makes it easier for the bind. Reach your right hand back behind. Open up to the left side body. Work your left hand to the inside of your right hip. Now reach back, grab the bind. Keep your hips lifted. Now, this time, turn your left toes forward. Step your right foot in, come up onto your tippy toes. Again, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Belly button pulls in, you're hinging from your hips to lift up. Then activate the core here, standing all the way up. Option for the extension, if you've got it. Whew. Find your balance, find the control. Now slowly work the way back the way you came. So you're just drawing down, let your right foot out to a 45, left foot steps out, release the bind, lower back down, Malasana. Good. So again, don't beat yourself up. You stay wherever you need to do. Don't feel like you have to go to that deepest expression. It's always here, it's always a practice. Now we're gonna take it to our left side. Also again, one side might be tighter than the other. My left side is way tighter than my right. So drop your left shoulder. Plant your left hand back behind. Now lift your hips. Open up for the bind. Take your right hand to small your back or work for the bind, reach back. Now this time, we're turning our right toes in, floating into the right leg. Step your left foot in. If this is where you're at, stay here. You can work on lifting up from the core. So squeezing shoulder blades together as you lift. So lift all the way up, grounding through your right leg. Option to stay here, option for the extension. Breathe. Good. Now slowly work your way back the way you came. You're stepping your left foot down, out to a 45. Right toe step out, release the bind. Bring it back down, Malasana. Now some of you may find that's easier than coming from an extended side angle because the step forward isn't so intense. Whatever works for you, we're all different. Even the most advanced yogis have a hard time lengthening and extending through the hamstrings. Some of us don't have a bendy back. That's totally fine. That doesn't mean I'm perfect. That doesn't mean that I'm less than either. All right, guys, one more breath. Now just slowly come all the way onto your backs. Ooh, hug your knees into your chest. Circle that out, let that go. Breathe. Set the soles of your feet down just outside your sitting bones. Your knees are up. Now this time find bridge pose. So make sure your heels are close enough to your sitting bones. Plant your hands out. Lift your hips up. Activate the glutes, activate the hamstrings. Breathe. Option for bound bridge. Interlace your hands to the small of your back. Roll your shoulders underneath your shoulder blades. Option for the full wheel if you want to take that, and that's in your practice today. I'm going to stay in my bound bridge. Now everybody slowly release your binds if you're in a bind, or if you're in your wheel, slowly come all the way down to your backs. Take your feet outside your mat. Knock your knees side to side like windshield wipers, left, right, let that go. Now this time, hug your knees up into your chest. Rock and roll front to back. All the way back to a downward facing dog. So just cross at your ankles, plant your hands, send your hips back, pedal out your feet. Breathe. Now this time, take your gaze to the top of your mat and then set your feet down all the way to a seat. Straighten out your legs, let that go. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Ground through your sitting bones, belly button pulls into spine, chest is lifted. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So hinging from your hips, lead with your torso to the top of your thigh. Breathe. Now you can always take a towel, a strap, wrap around the blades of your feet, walk down your midline. Wherever you feel tension, pause and breathe. Try not to dump down though, so extend and hinge. Or you can walk your hands down the edges of your legs. Wherever you feel tension, pause and breathe. If you need an extension, you can place a block past your feet, or you can elevate your heels. Breathe deeper expression. Listen to your body, do whatever you need to do. And one more breath. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Exhale, Baddha Konasana. Just bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Interlace your fingers to the blades of your feet. Inhale, pull your chest forward. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Inhale, slowly lift up. Now just take the sole of your left foot down. You want to keep your heel in line with your sitting bone. Your right leg is straight. I'm going to face you guys so you can kind of see the setup. So we take our left foot down. We create space with inside of your foot to the inside of your right thigh. Now you're going to extend your left arm straight up. Exhale, forward fold, Marichiyasana A. Grab for the left hand to the inside of your right foot. Option to stay here, hugging left knee into your left shoulder. Option for Marichiyasana B, finding the bind, reaching back, grabbing both hands to the inside of your left hip. Now keep your shoulders square towards your ankle. Hinging from your hips, lead with your torso to the top of your thigh. Inhale, slowly release. If you're in the bind, take your left hand to the outside blade of your right foot. Plant your right hand outside your right hip. Now option, keep your legs straight and lift all the way up. You can bend your knee as much as you need to and lift up, whatever works for you. You can keep your knee bent or work to straighten out. Now take your right hand back behind, gaze back. Find a twist in your spine. Inhale, take your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Lift your leg closer to your forehead. You can bend your knee as much as you need. Breathe. And then slowly lower all the way back down. And then just switch it out, or just straighten out your left leg, shake that out first. Now bend your right knee in. Again, align your heel to your sitting bone, create space with your foot and your thigh. Let your left hand outside your left hip. Inhale, lengthen, extend, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Keep your shoulders square towards your ankle. Grab for the inside of your left foot with your right hand. Option for Marichiyasana A, staying here. Option for Marichiyasana B, working towards the bind. Now if you've got the bind, release your bind. Take your right hand to the outside blade of your left foot. Plant your left hand outside your left hip. Now option to bend your knee as much as you need to. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, find the twist in your spine. Take your gaze back to your left hand. Sweep your left hand to the inside of your left foot. And then just extend your leg further, lifting up, forehead closer to your shin. You can bend your knee if you need to. Good. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Nice work, guys. I'm going to turn face back to the side edge of my mat. Now shake that out, let that go. And then just work your way all the way onto your backs. Find yourself into a happy baby. Send the soles of your feet up, draw your knees down, plug your shoulder blades back and down. Option to rock side to side, left to right. Let that feel good into your hips. Make your baby happy. Now just hug your knees into your chest. Find a supine twist over to your right, gaze to your left, arms out to a T. Work to keep your shoulders grounding. Inhale, slowly come all the way back into your midline. And then exhale, find a supine twist over to your left. Your gaze is right. Work to keep the shoulders grounding. Inhale, work your way back into your midline. And just extend your legs straight up to the ceiling. Find your legs up the wall pose. Soften in your knees, surrender into your upper body. Just activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest or digest. So always really good to do right before bed. Or anytime you have anxiety or stress, or anytime just to end your practice. Slowly lower your heels all the way down to the top of your mat. Once your heels touch the top of your mat, find yourself a good morning stretch. Inhale, reach your arms all the way above, point your toes. Feel that stretch through your front side body. Big inhale, hold at the top. Audible exhale, release. Allow your hands to fall out to the side, palms face up. Close your eyes. Come into your final Shavasana. option to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you need. Otherwise, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, bring life back into your bodies. Inhale, completely fill up your lungs. Audible exhale, release. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Clench your fist shut, shrug your shoulders up, squeeze every muscle fiber in your body. Audible exhale, let that go. Good. Leave everything on your mat today. Take nothing home. When you're ready, come into a fetal position, either on your right or your left side. Your masculine is your right, your left is your feminine energies, also known as your Pingala, your Ida, also known as your sun or your moon. And then slowly work your way up to an easy seated pose, just crossing at your ankles, lengthening through your spine, sitting up tall. Inhale, arms reach all the way above your head. Take all that good energy, bring it down into your heart center, your heart space, your fourth chakra. Inhale your confidence, your self-love, your self-acceptance. And exhale all your fears and doubts. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.